Welcome back, my dudes. Today I had one simple mission: improve my starter house in Valheim. Now, in my head, that meant upgrading a tiny shack I had into a grand Viking hall. Something grand, symmetrical, inspiring. But after an hour and 40 minutes of chopping wood, fighting with walls, fighting with roof pieces, and trying not to cry when walls fell down, I ended up with something that's ugly. But cozy, very cozy inside. So let's take this journey together from dream home to chaos to, well, whatever this is. Step 1 was resource gathering. Classic Valheim. Cut down some trees, grab some stone, maybe hunt a few boars for the leather scraps. But here's the thing. Every tree I chopped fell in the wrong direction. I nearly died twice from logs rolling on me. And every time I thought I had enough wood, I didn't. At this point, I realized the true enemy in Valheim isn't trolls or Draugr, is resource management. Still, I kept telling myself, all this wood is going to transform my sad shoebox into a glorious Viking lodge. Spoiler alert, it didn't. I started laying out the floor and decided that we were building an extension to our little shack. Maybe a bigger kitchen area, maybe a second floor, and right away, problems. Beams wouldn't snap when I wanted them, walls floated awkwardly, my straight lines were somehow diagonal. It's like the building system sensed my confidence and decided, nope, not today. Still, I pushed through, because in Valheim, half of the building is struggling and the other half is convincing yourself it will look better when it's done. Then came the roof, oh boy. If you've built in Valheim, you know the roof is where hope goes to die. Angles don't match, pieces don't connect, and suddenly your Viking hall looks like a lopsided barn. I placed one piece, stepped back, hated it, tore it down, and repeated that cycle at least 15 times. And don't even get me started on support beams. My house looked less like a home and more like a wooden porcupine with beams sticking out everywhere. At some point, I had to admit defeat. The only way to fix this disaster was destruction. So I took down half the house, which I'll admit hurt a little, but it was necessary. It's kind of like Valheim's version of therapy. Sometimes you need to tear things down before you can rebuild. Of course, rebuilding meant running out of wood again, back to chopping trees, back to logs rolling downhill into the river, back to realizing I'm terrible at planning. Despite the chaos, there were some small wins. I managed to build a working chimney, no more choking on smoke every time I lit a fire, which feels like progress. I carved out a little bedroom corner and a workshop corner. For a brief moment, I thought, hey, maybe this place is actually coming together. That's when I started thinking about the cozy side. Sure, the outside looked like a barn that got hit by an earthquake, but inside it was starting to feel like a proper home. That's the magic of Valheim. You can forgive an ugly exterior if the inside feels welcoming. And honestly, it really did. I even decided to build a little balcony so we could see our beautiful view of the Valheim Sea. So, after nearly 2 hours, what did I have? Well, the outside was, let's call it, unique. Definitely not symmetrical, definitely not pretty. If anything, it looked like 5 different houses meshed together in a forest extent. But hey, it stood, it didn't collapse, and that, in Valheim, is a win. But step inside, you'll see a completely different story. The hearth was glowing, the bed was tucked away nicely, the workshop felt efficient. It wasn't the Viking palace I imagined, but it was functional, warm, and honestly kind of charming. This was no longer just a shack, it was a cozy little starter home, a place I'd actually want to log back into. And that's really the point of this build. It didn't turn out how I wanted, it wasn't beautiful, it wasn't impressive, but it was mine. Every crooked beam, every misplaced roof tile, every chest crammed against the wall, that was my journey, and sometimes that's better than perfection, because perfection is boring. Ugly but cozy, that's the character. So in the end, did I improve my starter house? Yes and no. Outside, probably not. Inside, definitely yes. And honestly, I'll take it. If you ever built a Valheim house that turned out nothing like you planned, let me know in the comments. Thanks for joining me in this chaotic building journey. Next time, maybe I'll build something better. Or maybe I'll just double down on the chaos. Either way, I see you then, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.